Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another live Manchester United news and transfer news show where we'll be talking about all the latest news, discussing stuff, getting through some questions and more. What is going on in the world of Manchester United to wrap up what we'll be talking about in this video in the first 30 seconds. So, De Jong and Depay in England. I'm telling you this now. Why are they why are they on holiday? Apparently it's not to do with Donny's wedding. Apparently Donny isn't having a wedding. Apparently De Jong and Depay have just been told they can fuck off and go on holiday to England for a week. If they're in the plans, no way Xavi will be letting them go on holiday. There's something fishy behind this, but we will talk about that. Is there a chance of De Jong? I think highly unlikely because of the money we spent on Antony. I think if we'd have got Gakpo, I think we would have had the funds for De Jong, but I don't think we do. Do I think we're going to get De Jong? No. Could we get Depay? I think maybe if Ronaldo leaves. The Cristiano Ronaldo, Victor Osimhen swap deal situation. Napoli want to do a swap deal. However, it would mean United being absolutely mugged off and paying like 150 million and then giving them Ronaldo and then paying Ronaldo's wages as he goes on loan, which would just make zero sense. But there's reports about doing potentially a loan swap deal with obligation to buy coming out from very good source, which we will get into. We'll get into the news about Ronaldo and Oshimen. How likely is it? Do I think it's going to happen? Same with De Jong, same with Depay. David Ornstein did confirm United are interested in Memphis Depay, and that's been confirmed by David Ornstein that United, if Ronaldo leaves, United might weigh up an interest for Depay because their interest in Gakpo is called. AKA Depay will cost less than Gakpo because Barcelona are desperate to sell, so Depay will probably be the Ronaldo alternative, and he is in England as well. We've got other news to get into. We've got this Matt O'Reilly, Celtic midfielder, 21 years of age. I spoke to a couple of Celtic fans. I don't watch the Scottish League unless I'm watching Celtic or Rangers in Europa or Champions League, really, or if it's on the TV before a game. So I don't know loads about Scottish League players, but I've been hearing that this Matt O'Reilly guy is an absolute baller. Apparently, like a lot of Celtic fans love him, say he's really, really good. And I was talking to someone, he said he'd be a good fit for Erik ten Hag because Erik ten Hag has a very good reputation with developing young players, turning them to stars. You know, Frankie de Jong was very unestablished, and ten Hag made de Jong, and potentially this guy that we're linked with from Celtic that United are weighing up. It could be that, you know, the next Frankie de Jong, the next Paul Scholes, even though they're quite different players. But do you know what I mean? Like a very good box-to-box midfielder, which I will get into in a sec. Let me just take a quick drink of water as well. So we've got lots of news. So Dubravka is basically a done deal. James Garner, will he stay? Will he go? Amadi Ali potentially going on loan. Hannibal Mejbri's just joined Birmingham City on loan, and Chief Jong could be going to Birmingham City on a permanent deal. Potential that there could be an Amazon or Netflix series on United next season. Gakpo was linked to United. PSV have just turned down a bid from Southampton for Gakpo as well. Man United for Sergio Dest, Man United for Aubameyang, United for De Jong, United for Depay, United linked to every fucking Barcelona player. Where should we start? We'll start with the De Jong, Depay kind of situation, and then I want to talk about the young Celtic midfielder Matt O'Reilly that we're linked with, that we're scouting, that we might be making an imminent approach for as well. But and also, Antony is at Manchester, guys. Smash that like button for Antony to United. He is in Manchester. He is doing his medical as we speak, and your boy Antony could be announced tonight. Probably not tonight because United take ages on things, but I think it could be announced soon. He's very unlikely to play versus Leicester unless he can get his work permit sorted in time. And you know what Man United are like with that stuff. We're very, very slow, but Antony is here. But everybody, I'm just going to throw this out as well. I'm on 49,054 subscribers. We're on the road to 50k. We're 946 away, so do get subscribing if you're new. But she is going to get into the news because I've been waffling a little bit as well. But yes, we'd be far better without this Joker De Jong. I don't think we would be, though. I think De Jong would instantly improve this team. Imagine De Jong, Casemiro, Eriksen midfield three. Guys, we'd be fucking flying. We will talk about Depay, but there are chances of Depay to United, and David Ornstein did confirm that. And Napoli looking to sign Ronaldo, but what does that mean with Oshimen to United? So, Frenkie de Jong travelling to London as he will be on holiday after some days off decided by Xavi. It's not transfer related, no changes about the situation. He said that Frankie's not in talks with Liverpool. He has different plans. He wants to stay at Barcelona, but he doesn't want to take a salary cut, which is nothing really new. But I'm saying this now. There is no way Xavi just lets De Jong and Depay go on holiday, but no one else at Barcelona if it's not transfer related. Now, Mr. Romano is a brilliant transfer guy, and he is just saying what he's been told. But, you know, the fact that they've just been allowed to go on holiday like this when, you know, there's a lot of games coming up for Barcelona. Yeah, just have a holiday, have a couple of days off training, says to me they're not wanted. You know, Depay and De Jong are still not wanted by Barcelona. Barcelona, as we speak, are still looking for a buy for Frenkie de Jong. They want to sell Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong doesn't want to leave, and Frenkie de Jong wants his wages. And Frenkie de Jong's ideal world is he stays, he plays, and he gets all his wages. But Barcelona are still looking to get rid of Frenkie de Jong. Now, reportedly, apparently, Donny van der Beek was having a wedding, and that is why De Jong and Depay were coming to England. But apparently, Donny van der Beek isn't having a wedding. And if Donny van der Beek was going to have a wedding, surely he'd do it on like a bank holiday or a weekend anyway, not a Tuesday, not a Wednesday, because we're playing on the Thursday. So the whole story makes zero sense. I'm gonna be honest with you. If De Jong stays at Barcelona, fine. If De Jong goes to Chelsea, I will lose my shit. If De Jong goes to Chelsea, Murta and Arnold need to be sacked right away. If we miss out on De Jong for I don't know what reasons it will be now, but if he ends up at Chelsea, they need to be sacked because we've overpaid for all of our players. Now, I think Malas is a great signing. I think Martinez is a great signing. I think Antony's a great signing. I think Casemiro is a great signing. But we spent over 200 million on them. You know, they're all good signings, but we massively overpaid for those 4 players. 200 million, and we got those 4 players. You know, and we've got this whole new team working on transfers. No, we've been absolutely mugged off and bent over backwards in the transfer market. And the reason we're overpaying is because of our problem. If United will run like a proper club, we would have got Antony for 50 million in May. But because United took ages on it, Antony then costed 100 million. That is the situation with United. You know, and if we don't get De Jong, then Murta and Ronaldo most definitely need to be sacked. Because you do not spend 14 weeks on a transfer, ignore all your other targets, not get that transfer. That transfer then goes to a rival club, and then you overpay for all your other targets in a panic. So, you know, regardless of the De Jong situation, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm over the De Jong situation. I still think Murta and Arnold should be sacked. Thank you very much, Yash, for the super sticker. Gakpo could be signed. I think Gakpo won't happen, but Ronaldo's future is so uncertain. If Ronaldo leaves, expect Depay, Gakpo, AUBAMEYANG, and really shitty other strikers linked to us as well. Obviously, Sassa's gone to Wolves now, which would have been another player that was linked to us as well. Any news on the right back position? We are linked to Sergio Dest. United want a right back, but I don't think we'll sign one. There's not a concrete target that we're linked to yet. You've got the Dumfries links, the Dest links. You've got lots of other players we're linked to. I think Ten Hag wants a right back. The board sit there. This is what I think is good. This is what 100% think is happening at United. Ten Hag sits there and goes, I want a right back. The board go, right, would the fans be outraged if we didn't get a right back? It's not a high profile position. We don't want to spend any money. You know, I know Ten Hag wants a right back, but could we save money? Would there be a negative fan reaction if we didn't get a right back? No. Is signing a right back going to improve our commercial side? No. I think that the board generally are saying, to Ten Hag, we'll look at right backs to please them, but I don't think we'll sign a right back. I think United need a Frenkie de Jong and a right back on top of what we brought, but I don't think it's going to happen. We've just signed a Bradford for 5 million. We might sign a right back because I know if Wan-Bissaka leaves, which I think he is, and a lot of people around the London area are saying he's expected to rejoin Crystal Palace, I think there is definitely potential for a right back to come into United. But I was hearing a lot, and I can't remember who said it. I think it could have been Paul Hurst or someone, about Brandon Williams being the right back. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Fucking Man United, fucking Brandon Williams. Yeah, Brandon Williams, the backup right back. It's not ideal. It's not the end of the world. You know, we're in a situation where we might have to get by with a shortage at right back. You know, I think for me, I look at the United squad and I tweeted it actually. Let me show you what I tweeted. So I looked at the Man United squad today, and I'll show you what I tweeted. And this is sort of our squad with depth. And I said about this United squad, I said it needs depth. 100% needs depth. I said it needs a ball carrying midfielder like De Jong. That I said depth for the ball carrying midfielder like De Jong, and I said it would need a right back because the right back slot is not great. You know, Dalot has been decent once if he gets an injury. I said right now United this summer need a ball carrying midfielder and a right back. Next summer, they need a long-term Ronaldo replacement, potentially a De Gea replacement that goalies more suits Ten Hag style, and then potentially another winger and midfielder in the following summer. But, you know, that is what our squad would look like with depth. Do smash the like buttons, guys, and subscribe down below if you're new. People did ask me about Sedanic Ball and Charlie Savage all having minutes. The Europa League is coming up, but I think the Europa League will be your Donny van der Beeks getting the minutes than your Sedanic Balls. It is concerning that he's in London and not Manchester. Might have chose Chelsea. Potentially, I think we'll have to see what happens over these next few days as well. Antony's worth about 70 million, not 85 million. He's worth about 50 million. But you know what? I will say this about Antony. I will talk about him in a minute. I'm not that bothered about the Antony price, to be honest. What more can we do? We've overpaid for Antony. It's our own fault. It's our own fault. But this, as I said, everyone talked about Van Dijk's price. No one talks about it now. If Antony comes to United and he's a baller, no one's going to care about his price. And, you know, we've got the player that Ten Hag wants as well. So, yeah, let me scroll down to the bottom of the chat. Big up everybody in the chat as well. Please do subscribe if you're new. On the road to 50,000 subscribers. Could be worse. Jong could go to City exactly as well. And as Paul says, can't believe we spent over 200 million. It's totally madness. And look, I like the players that we brought, but to spend 200 million on those 4 players, I just think, are they really worth 200 million? No. And it's just the common example of how incompetent the Manchester United board is. But I do think Wan-Bissaka will leave, and that's why I've got Brandon Williams in the right back position now. Let me make it a bit bigger. Is that clearer for you to see? And I said, this is our squad now. Antony is here. I said, we don't even know if Ronaldo is going to be here, but as someone said, any news on the striker position? If Ronaldo leaves, I think we will get a striker, and I don't know if we're going to get Osimhen unless it's a loan with an obligation to buy. I don't think it would be possible to happen. I think United need to go, and I know we won't because he spent 200 million and they won't spend any more money. United, what they need to do is they need to go and get a right back, and they need to go and get De Jong, because Barcelona are letting De Jong go on holiday, which is clear indications they want to sell De Jong as well. Who do you think would be good at right back and what price? I've not really looked at right backs. Dumfries is a very obvious choice. The lad from Monaco looked all right. What was his name? It depends who really Ten Hag wants. I wouldn't say I was a right back specialist. I mean, I'd love Reece James, but that's never going to happen. But I think we could get, you know, Malassia's 11 million and he looks brilliant. If we can get the right back equivalent of Malassia, I'll be very happy with that as well. Is Brandon Williams going out on loan? He is not, because of an injury. Wan-Bissaka is set to rejoin Crystal Palace, and Brandon Williams is set to stay at United and be the backup right back. Now, the reason Brandon Williams will be the right back and not the left back is because Ten Hag's very big on having left-sided players on the left side of defence. That's why he wanted Lisandro Martinez. He wanted that left-footed centre back. And Brandon Williams will play right back under Ten Hag, not left back. There's no chance of it. And he will be backup. And we're going to need to keep Delo fit if we lose Wan-Bissaka. I just feel like we're not going to buy a right back. Now, we might buy a right back. And if we do, I think it will just be a really shitty one. And it will just be a Tellez 2.0 where they come in, they play when Delo's injured, they're shit, and then we sell them and trying to get rid of them like with Tellez. I can't see United doing anything smart. But look, there's 2.5 days left of the transfer window, so 100% we'll have to wait and see as well. Get Gakpo for striker and Neves for the midfield. I mean, Gakpo isn't really a striker, but I think there's a lot of players that would suit the midfield. There's Maxim Kakare, there's the Celtic midfielder that we've been linked with that I will talk about in a second as well. Van der Beek is tactically getting married to Ten Hag and Frenkie, tactically getting married to get Ten Hag and Frenkie in the same room. Maybe an elaborate plan from Erik Ten Hag to force Van der Beek into marriage so close to deadline day. Erik Ten Hag going to be the one who picks De Jong. I mean, I doubt that is the case. That would be quite funny. Apparently that the rumor that Donny's having a wedding is not true. Someone said De Jong is coming chill. Man, he's not. I don't think he might, but I don't think it is. Gary Neville tweeted earlier asking the Glazers to sell, and then Gary Neville did say he was confident the Glazers could potentially sell Manchester United as well. And I think the main issue at United is United can't sell any player that will be worth anything to cover spending. This is the annoying thing. This is why we're selling James Garner. Now, I'd be all for giving James Garner a chance, but we're having to sell James Garner because we just are useless in the transfer market. We're selling James Garner for 15 million, but Wolves can sell Gibbs White for 42 million. We can't even get 5 million for Eric Bailly. That is a big problem. You know, if we could raise 40, 50 million, if we were a competent club, we'd probably get 15, 20 million for Wan-Bissaka. We'd probably get 20 million for James Garner, and we could probably sell someone like Scott McTominay for 30 million and go bring in a good box-to-box midfielder and increase our budget. But United, unfortunately, are not a competent club. Read earlier that Antony may get number 11. I mean, that shirt's cursed, though, isn't it? And we do need a striker. We do need a striker, especially if Ronaldo leaves. I want to get into the Ronaldo leaving news for you guys, though. I do want to cover that as well. Because it was a big story that came out from MARZIO about Ronaldo leaving. And I'll get that up on the screen now, and then we will talk about the young Celtic midfielder. Then I will get into some live chats. Then I will give you more updates on De Jong and Depay and the situation as well. But let me zoom in a little bit on the Twitter here, so you can see. So as you can see on the screen, there is a cheeky ass tweet on the screen saying, there are hours of waiting to understand if Jorge Mendes, agent of Cristiano Ronaldo, will bring a concrete offer to release his move to Napoli and the transfer of Victor Osimhen. And this has come from MARZIO, a very, very, very reliable source, talking about, maybe Osimhen going the other way to United. Now, Samuel Luckhurst did also say today, Justin, Napoli have held discussions with Ronaldo's agent ahead of a Thursday transfer deadline. And it was also said that Napoli are understood to be eyeing a permanent deal for Ronaldo, but are prepared to settle for a loan deal as they are pressed for time. Figures at Manchester United have sensed Jorge Mendes would attempt to facilitate an exit route for Ronaldo late in the window. And it has also been said by Samuel Luckhurst that Erik ten Hag has been open to letting Cristiano Ronaldo leave for weeks, but co-chairman Joel Glazer resisted any possible sale. So there's a report coming out that actually for the last couple of weeks, ten Hag said he doesn't want Ronaldo. He said he's willing to let Ronaldo go as long as we get a replacement in, but Joel Glazer is against letting Ronaldo go. Now, the reason Ronaldo hasn't left the club is because because we haven't found a proper buyer, but two, because Joel Glazer views Ronaldo as a very good commercial asset. So even though Ten Hag, the manager, has said, yeah, let's let Ronaldo go, the owners, once again, are undermining the manager's authority for their own commercial game. The owners, unlike proper clubs, will go, you know what, the manager doesn't want this player, we might as well sell him and find him a replacement and do what the manager wants. But the Glazers go, oh, but if we sell Ronaldo, we're going to lose a lot of commercial money. Let's not sell Ronaldo. And it's a classic example of why the Glazers are absolute see you next Tuesdays. They're absolute twats. Like, it's just like, I'd like Ronaldo to stay, but I'm like, sell Ronaldo and get Ronaldo alternative, spend a bit of money, back your manager. If Ten Hag said a couple of weeks ago, yeah, it's okay for Ronaldo to go, I don't want to play here that's not fully focused on the project. He's playing Alanga, not Ronaldo. It's obviously Ronaldo's now not in Ten Hag's plans after the whole debacle about wanting to leave. But the Glazers go, yeah, but Ronaldo's a commercial asset. Sorry, Ten Hag, you can't sell him. It's silly. Now, Ronaldo to Napoli is most likely will be the most likely move if he is to leave United. It seems that Napoli are the only Champions League club really pushing to sign him, and that Jorge Mendes is going to propose an idea of a swap deal involving Victor Osimhen and Cristiano Ronaldo. And this has come out from MARZIO. This is a tier one source, top tier journalist. And I believe that Jorge Mendes is pushing for Ronaldo to Napoli and is trying to do things to make the move happen. But I do not know if this will happen. I think the only way Ronaldo and Osimhen swap deal happens if it's loan swap deal with an obligation to buy. Because here was the proposal from Napoli. Okay, let me read this to you. You're gonna be shocked. Ready? Napoli want Ronaldo plus 130 million euros for Osimhen. They say they want United to pay 85% of Ronaldo's wages while he's on loan at Napoli. So Napoli is saying if United pay 85% of Ronaldo's wages and pay 130 million for Osimhen, we'll let the deal happen. What the actual fuck? Jog on, we're not mugs, craziness. And, the only way this deal can happen, the only way Ronaldo can get out and we can get Osimhen and this swap deal can happen is if it's a loan with an obligation to buy. Only if it's a loan with an obligation to buy. Because United do not have the funds for Osimhen, and Osimhen costs Napoli £72 million, so Napoli will ask over 100 million for Osimhen. I'd like Osimhen. I think he's a very good player, as Yash said, but he's definitely not worth 100 million. Someone says cap. I don't think the story's cap. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that, Jorge Mendes is pushing for Ronaldo to Napoli and there is talks of a swap deal, but I don't think it will happen unless the swap deal is a loan swap deal, because I don't think either teams have the finances to facilitate the deals as well. And Joel Glazer is the reason Ronaldo didn't leave earlier, because Joel Glazer doesn't want to lose Ronaldo because he's a commercial asset to the club, but also Joel Glazer doesn't want to spend the money to have to replace. And Justin, Manchester United are unlikely to make any more signings this transfer window once they complete the €100 million deal of Antony from Ajax. Honestly, unless we lose, this is probably the most likely case. I want to talk about situations and stuff. We have signed Dubravka, we've signed Antony. Unless we lose players, I can't see us signing anyone else. We are linked to this young Celtic midfielder. We are linked to De Jong. We are linked to Depay. Good journalists like David Ornstein linking us to these players. unless Ronaldo leaves or unless Wan-Bissaka leaves, I do not see us signing anyone else this summer. I think if Wan-Bissaka leaves, potentially a right back. I think if Ronaldo leaves, your Gakpos, your Depays. Unless we plan on the Glazers out protest and we all go crazy on the Glazers, I don't think they'll actually sign anyone big. I think that we should start Glazers out and protesting again, and maybe they'll go swoop up Jong while he's in London. But yeah, unless Ronaldo leaves, I 100% really can't see anything happening, which is a shame because, you know, just a week ago before we beat Liverpool, we were going to sign 5 players. Now we're beating Liverpool, we're signing 2 of those 5 players. We don't need to sign 5 players anymore. The attention's off the Glazers. The Glazer out protest has died down. And let's stop the PR and tell them we're signing 2 players and not 5. You know, it's a classic example of United lying to fans again. United, you know, the United PR team lying to fans. We lose to Liverpool. The Glazer out protest has gone on. They're doing all their PR spin saying we're signing 5 players. Now we get Antony. Now we get Casemiro. Now we beat Liverpool. Now some of the fans have shut up. Man United are like, you know what? No more players. You know what? No more players. And it's classic United as well. If Antony's worth 100 million, Osimhen is too. 100%. And, you know, that's what Napoli. This is the problem that this has caused. It's United's own fault for having to spend 100 million on Antony. We could have signed him for 50 million earlier in the window. We rejected the chance because Murta and Arnold were fucking about going to Barcelona on a lad's holiday. So they didn't go and fucking do Antony for 50 million when they could have. But teams will look at that and just know that United is stupid. They'll say, oh, United got a new transfer team, but they spent 200 million on Casemiro, Antony, Malacia and Martinez. What the hell? 3 of them are Eredivisie players and one of them's 30 and they spent 200 million on them. These lot of mugs. That's what other teams will be saying. I don't think the signings are bad, but I think the money we spent is a joke. I feel like we've wasted 200 million, but I feel like we could have signed all those players for 130 million if we had a competent person in, not 200 million, if that makes sense. But teams will look at that and go, well, Napoli will look at that. And this is why Napoli said to United, right, can I have Ronaldo on loan? Can you pay 85% of his wages? And then if you want Osimhen, give us 130 mil. That's why Napoli have done that, because they go, well, United are paying 100 million for Antony. Let's try and milk Man United as well. Let's try and mug off United as well. And it's just an absolute prime example of why United being idiots in the transfer window. It can cost us because Sasa Kaljovic has just gone to Wolves for 12-15 million euros. He was being quoted at 25 million pounds for United. And the thing that really annoys me is if United are trying to sign someone in the transfer window, any team will just bug 10-20 million on. Osimhen, I tell you this now, if someone like, I don't know, Sevilla were in for Osimhen, 70 million euros, United are in for him 130 million euros. There is potential for this deal to happen, but if I'm being honest, I don't see the deal happening as well. Just kill the club with that deal. I mean, honestly, I'd love Jong, I'd love Osimhen, but I don't see it happening. Smash that like button if your Glazers out, guys, and please do subscribe down below if you're new. We are going to talk about the young midfielder linked to Manchester United, Matt O'Reilly. I'll tell you a little bit about him in just a second, but I just wanted to say, guys, we're very, very close to 50,000 subscribers, by the way. We're on the road to 50k, and hopefully we can hit it by deadline day, but I'm on 49,069 subscribers, so we are 931 subscribers away from 50k, so please do subscribe down below if you're new. It will mean a lot. As well, we need Rashford to win, lose or draw because he comes from Manchester. Look, I love Rashford and I hope he succeeds, but I want to see him back on the left wing, not as a striker as well. United have called their interest in Cody Gakpo, as Nick says, and Dubravka, here we go. Yeah, look, Dubravka, whatever. Like, I'm not really going to cover it, but as a backup goalie for De Gea, it's a shame. I thought Trapp and Sommer would have been better options, but, you know, we beat Liverpool. The Glazer out protest died down, so that's what happened as well. Alice, what do you think of these signings so far, and how do you rate our signings? So, Malacia, I'm giving an 8 out of 10 to. I don't think left back was a priority, but I think it definitely needed improving. And I think, you know, he's a young, hungry left back. He's going to give Shaw some real competition, and he was only £12 million. You know, Zinchenko, £30 million. For me, I think Malacia, £12 million. Good value, good young player, one that works hard. He's already kicked Luke Shaw out of the team. I'll give that an 8 out of 10. Ericsson, free transfer, decent player. Again, give it an 8 out of 10. Martinez, again, a bit pricey, but he's looked so good so far, 8 out of 10. Casemiro, a player we definitely needed a DM, but we overpaid massively. He is off 30 years of age. Wasn't Frankie de Jong. I'd probably give it a 6.5, 7 out of 10, although really it's probably the best in terms of impact, I think. So actually I'll give it 7 out of 10. Antony, I'll give a 6 out of 10 because we overpaid for him. But if we bought him for 50 million, I'll be giving it a 9 out of 10. Overall, I'd give our transfer window a 6 out of 10. I think if we get Jong, it goes to an 8 out of 10. But we're still missing Jong. I still think we need a right back, and I still think we need another attacker in. So that's why. If you sign De Jong, it's an 8. If you sign De Jong, a right back and a striker, it's a 10. For me, I think the transfer window is a 6. I think if you're looking value for money, it's probably a 5. But I don't think it's been an awful transfer window. As I said, I'm happy with all our signs. I think Antony is such a good player. I think he's going to be an absolute baller for United. I know we've overpaid, but whenever I watch Antony, I'm so confident he will succeed at United. And what I will say is Ten Hag's watched Antony play week in, week out for several years, and Ten Hag's watched him train for several years. And Ten Hag knows Antony better than any other fan and any pundit. And what anyone says out there, it doesn't matter. What anyone says about Antony to United, it doesn't matter, because the man that knows him best is our manager, and that's the man who's buying him or bringing him in. So if Ten Hag knows Antony in and out, and Ten Hag's confident Antony can succeed, I have so much confidence that Antony will be some player for United, despite his price tag. I think Malacia is one for the future. I'm already in love with Lissandro Martinez. Ericsson looks like a good deal, and I'm sure Casemiro will completely transform the midfield. So in that aspect, like, I'm very happy with the signings. Daniel said hopefully Varane can stay fit as well. The brand of Antony could be higher than Ronaldo's. Yeah, that kind of Brazilian young flair. I think if Antony is successful and starts getting goals and assists and stuff, I think Antony could be a commercial aspect, which the Glazers will like as well. If Antony becomes the player we think he will, he'll hold on to us until Madrid or Barca want him. Maybe, but if Madrid or Barca want him, then he's definitely been worth the 100 million euros, and that's all that matters as well. Antony was 60 million euros plus 40 million in competence taxes, Paul. I mean, that's probably the best way to describe it. You know, it was Glazer and Bourne and competence, which why we had to pay that extra 40 million euros as well. Alice, you can't totally change the team in one window exactly, but you know. Napoli valued Osimhen over 100 million euros last year and has not really changed. Yeah, and I understand why Napoli valued him at that. You know, if you look at the striker market, the lack of strikers on the market, I 100% get that. And it is said that United are now unlikely to make any more signings. I think if we make signings, it is very much dependent on the Ronaldo Wan-Bissaka situation. Unless someone comes in and says that we'll give us 50 million for Scott McTominay or 70 million for Maguire, and we agreed to sell them as well. I think incomings will be very dependent on the outgoings. I think there is potential for a small sign like a right back, and there is potential for another attacker to come in for Ronaldo leaves, but I think it's very, very dependent on outgoings as well. Guys, please do smash that like button, subscribe down below, share the video and all of that as well. Apparently, Frenkie de Jong is in London with Depay. Apparently it's for Donny's wedding, but we haven't really heard much about Donny's wedding or what's going on as well. And apparently from Jason Burt of The Telegraph, let me get the story up for you to see. This is the current kind of Ronaldo situation as we speak. Let me get this up here, guys. It is being said that Erik ten Hag wanted Ronaldo to stay, but is now prepared to let him go. However, Manchester United can only consider allowing him to leave if they are presented with an offer, and so far there has not been a single one received. So apparently, it looks more like that no one's really coming to buy Ronaldo. You know, Ronaldo wants to leave, but like no one's coming for you. You're 37. Ronaldo's a brilliant player. He's an absolutely talented player, and he will score you goals. But football is so, you know. I don't want to say this, but Ronaldo's becoming an outdated player. A lot of modern clubs and a lot of teams now play a very different style where Ronaldo doesn't fit that system. The Bayern Munich manager came out and said Ronaldo's a world-class player, one of the best players of all time, but we just don't need him at Bayern Munich. He doesn't suit our system. You know, the football is kind of moving on past the Ronaldo style, it seems, you know, that kind of style of striker. And, you know, Napoli seem to be the only club really interested in buying Ronaldo that's in the Champions League. You know, Real Madrid didn't seem too bothered. Obviously, we know Ronaldo wanted Bayern Munich, and they came up publicly and said, look, he's a brilliant player, but he just doesn't suit our long-term project. And I think, you know, I love Ronaldo. He's an absolutely world-class player, but I don't think he suits anyone's world-class projects. And I think unless Napoli can somehow strike a deal and Jorge Mendes can strike a deal, I do expect Ronaldo to stay at United due to really a lack of offers for him as well. I am going to say I do want to get into the news about the midfielder Matt O'Reilly, this young Celtic midfielder United have been linked to as well. And funny how Donny's wedding come out after De Jong was going to London along with Depay, and Depay agreed terms with United, and after Depay agreed terms with United. But apparently, yeah, Man United are in for Depay according to David Ornstein. I will get into Depay news, but the title is Man United are in for a new young midfielder, and I've not spoken about it. So There's a 21 now, 21-year-old midfielder at Celtic called Matt O'Reilly. And Manchester United have been scouting the Celtic midfielder. Manchester United have got their eye on Celtic midfielder. However, Samuel Luck has said there's no suggestion that United will make an imminent approach for O'Reilly, but United are definitely keeping an eye on him. He could be one for the future. Maybe someone that could potentially come in January. Maybe someone we sign then loan back to Celtic. Maybe someone we go for next summer. He's 21 years of age and he's playing week in, week out for Celtic. So he's obviously, he's not going to go into the youth. He is a semi-established player. And Matt O'Reilly actually only joined Celtic 6 months ago from MK Dons, but apparently he's been very, very good at Celtic. I've known a few Celtic fans, and they're telling me that the other day when he played, he was their best player. I think yesterday was their best player. He's looked so good since he's joined. And I was talking to someone who's a bit of a football analyst, and they said that this Matt O'Reilly guy at Celtic has the skill set that could thrive under Ten Hag. He said he's the type of player where you can see of him playing at Celtic, he's a really good player. He's 21, he's a really good player. And that, if he was coached well, he could easily succeed in the next level. And that United are seriously watching and considering Matt O'Reilly, but we don't know if we're going to make an actual approach for him. He is just being scouted. But United are potentially hoping on signing the Celtic midfielder maybe in the next year, but they are scouting him. I don't know. I don't think we will sign Matt O'Reilly this summer. I don't think the links are concrete, but United are keeping their eye on him. And I think he's someone that could come back in January or could come back next summer, and it could be a 15 million under the radar signing. But I think, Matt O'Reilly to United, I think could actually be a really, really good signing. The only thing is, if we're looking at players like Matt O'Reilly, and I know he's a very different player to James Garner, he's probably just as experienced as James Garner. I compare the Scottish League to the Championship a bit, and James Garner thrived in the Championship. He thrived in the Scottish League. The way I really look at it is I'm going, well, we might as well give James Garner a chance. We're not even giving James Garner a chance. I think if we sign him, he might play in the Europa League, but I don't know if he'd play a lot. I think he's one that Ten Hag will look to develop. And I think he's a player, Matt O'Reilly, that United will go and look to sign next summer when he's like a year more established, a little bit longer and all of that. But yeah, he looks like a really good player. Completely puzzled to why United want to sell Garner. I tell you, this is a fact. This is a fact. Ten Hag wants to keep Garner. The board told Ten Hag they need to sell Garner to raise funds because Garner is the most valuable asset at the fucking club. Because the club, Man United can't get 5 million for Bailly. Man United couldn't even get money for someone as good as Dean Henderson in goal. Man United are absolutely mugs in the transfer window. Everyone knows they can mug us off. We couldn't get money for Dean Henderson. We couldn't get money for Bailly. We couldn't get money for Tellez. You look at the amount. You look at the amount of money other clubs are getting for other players. Like, what was it? Yeah. I mean, Man City get 30 million for Zinchenko. That was their backup left back. I mean, he is a good player, but 30 million for a backup left back. We can't get 1 million for a backup left back, but Zinchenko is better than Tellez. Wolves can get 40 odd something million for Gibbs White, which I look at and think, what? You look at the whole world of transfers, and teams seem to get so much money for their players, but Man United, apparently we can do fuck all when it comes to transfers. Absolutely fuck all when it comes to money. And I think basically Ten Hag said, I want to keep James Garner. I want to use James Garner. But as you said, James Garner is basically being sold to fund the dividends. James Garner is pretty much 100% being sold because the Glazers need someone to fund their dividends. Eric Ten Hag didn't want to sell Garner. The Glazers needs a bit of money to come in. Oh, James Garner will get money for him because we've not given him a stupid, silly contract where he's earning a lot. He's a player that's got value. We can't get money for Dean. Look, we could get 40 million. If we were a proper run club, we could get 40 million for Dean Henderson. If we were a proper run club, we would have sold Lingard last summer and given him to West Ham for 20 million. But we're not a proper run club as well. It is the road to 50,000 subscribers, by the way, guys. So please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, please do subscribe to my channel. I go live every single evening on the channel, keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, and more. United could be potentially buying more players with strong links to Memphis Depay as well. Remember that. If Ronaldo goes, Memphis Depay could be the answer, not Victor Osimhen, and a lot of other stories coming out. James Garner still set to leave United. Amad Diallo set to go on loan. Hannibal Mejbri has gone on loan to Birmingham City. Tahith Chong expected to leave. And Wan-Bissaka expected to leave. Ronaldo's future very much unknown, but we have signed Dubravka. We have signed Antony, and there could be one more signing, but apparently it depends on outgoings as well. Real Madrid have done an announcement of their new stadium, and just again exposes how much of a shithole Old Trafford is. The Glazers really need to invest in Old Trafford, but they won't as well. And it's also been saying that Cody Gakpo to Manchester United is no longer at a hot stage due to the massive deal for Antony, and that while United like Cody Gakpo, it's very, very unlikely that we get Cody Gakpo unless Ronaldo leaves. Jason Burt of The Telegraph said that United had intended to sign a right-back if they sell Wan-Bissaka and another midfielder before Thursday's deadline, but it remains they appear to have now committed their remaining transfer funds to Antony. Let me get the story up on the screen for you guys to see, because I think this story is a bit of a joke. Jason Burt's a really good journalist, by the way, but he's basically said United were going to go and get a right-back, a midfielder, or an attacker, but then they spent all the money on Antony. No, we didn't. The journalists are speaking facts, but we could have got Antony for 50 million in May. United, because this is the result of Man United incompetence, guys. This is 100% the result of Man United incompetence here. Because Manchester United spent so long on De Jong, and because Manchester United turned down the opportunity to sign Martinez and Antony for a cut price in May, United are now signing Antony for 100 million euros. And because United are now spending so much money on Antony, that Ten Hag can no longer get that midfielder or striker target that he wanted in. This is literally the result of Manchester United incompetence by the board. We spent 100 million euros on Antony. Apparently, we were going to get another midfielder and right back in, but now we spent 100 million on Antony. We're not. I'll say what this is. This is we spent 100 million on Antony because of board incompetence. But a lot of it is, were we ever going to get another midfielder and a right back, or were we saying that's a PR spin because there was a really intense Glazers out protest? Was United's plans to get another right back? Was United's plans to get another midfielder, or were you saying we're getting another right back and another midfielder to PR spin and shut up the fans because the Glazer out protest was on you? Yes, you spent 100 million on Antony. I believe that you probably don't have that many more funds left. I don't think you will get another midfielder. I think you might get a right back if they sell Wan-Bissaka. But apparently, because United spent all this money on Antony, no midfielder, no one else. This is a joke. This is a joke. We didn't have to spend all this money on Antony. We could have got Gakpo. Ten Hag wanted Antony, brilliant. But Murta-Arnold, you're the reason we spent this much money on Antony, and you've cost Ten Hag other targets because you spent this money on Antony. You didn't deliver De Jong that you wasted all your time on. The player, the reason this is the thing that winds me up. The reason we spent so much money on Antony is because they were fucking about on De Jong. If they had got De Jong and then got Antony, fine. But we're spending loads of money on Antony because we fucked about on De Jong and we didn't even get De Jong, and now getting Antony compromises us getting other players in. It is just board incompetence. And Murta and Arnold should be sacked. And any club with a brain would have sacked Murta and Arnold. Someone said to check the Fabrizio tweet. What has Fabrizio said as well? People saying that, yeah, I've heard that Donny doesn't have a wedding as well. And Frankie doing a Memphis Depay are in London because they're going to Donny van der Beek's wedding. But apparently, that's a fake story. I don't know what to believe. Well, if Donny posts some wedding pictures on Instagram in the next few days, then we'll know there's some truth in it. But what has Fabrizio Romano tweeted? Oh, exclusive. Manchester United are set to sign Martin Dubravka. Here we go. Full agreement reached. Loan with buy option. 5 million, not mandatory. It's agreed with Newcastle and player side. Dubravka will travel tonight. Medical on Tuesday. Antony and second goalkeeper incoming. I mean, look, I'm not going to make a video about Dubravka to United because do any of you care? Do any of you care? If we'd have signed Sanchez or Raya or a really exciting goalkeeper, cool. But you know what? Dubravka United, so what? Like, cool, backup goalie. It's like when you signed Lee Grant again. He's an okay goalie, but is he even a 10-0 goalie? Is he even a 10-0 goalie? I'm not sure. I just want a Jim Ratcliffe. Here we go. Glazers selling. Here we go. Antony done. Dubravka done. Cool. Can we get a right back and can we get an attacker in? It all depends on outgoings, but I do think it's unlikely. But I will be doing live streams right to the deadline day, but I do think it's unlikely as well. Keep smashing the like buttons, guys, and please do subscribe down below if you're new. On the road to 50,000 subscribers, so it means a lot if everyone smashes that like button. We're on 49,091 subscribers, guys. We're only 9 subscribers away from 49.1k. So if you are subscribed, if you are not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's completely free to subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot if you subscribe to the channel, guys. And as I said, only 9 subscribers away from 49.1k. So do hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on the thing. Still, at least Antony's in the door. Be happy, 100%. Let's talk about Antony to Manchester United. Let me see if I can find. I saw a really good Antony thread. I'm not sure if I saw a really good thread on Antony earlier. But this is it. So HTO, I follow him on TikTok. Follow HTO on TikTok. He does really good videos. I'll follow him on Twitter as well. But he's done a thread about Antony to United, and he said that he'll only be focusing on the footballing side of the transfer. Let me pause that video because it's distracting. He said he's only going to be focusing on the footballing side of the transfer because, a lot has been made of the fee. And he said, do not agree with the massive overpayment, but let's look at it from a footballing side, which is spot on. He said, Antony's dribbling is some of the best in Europe when it comes to volume per 90 and successful dribbles. The ball sticks to his feet, and his overall decision-making in action is brilliant. He's got perfect balance, top-tier dribbler. So this is about Antony as a player. This is a really good thread. And obviously, I've watched Antony play. When I say Fred, I feels like I'm talking about the player Fred, but I'm actually saying the word Fred. I just can't seem to say the word properly. But what I will say about Antony is I like Elanga, I do, but he's not ready for United. And when we were playing Southampton, I'd see Elanga on the ball and I'm thinking, fucking hell, man can't beat his defender. Like, Elanga gets the ball, and he did improve in the second half. And you know what? He got an assist versus Liverpool. He does put some good passes in, but on the ball, like, Elanga just can't have that dribble. And Antony is one of the best dribblers in Europe. He's very elite. I mean, I'm sure all you guys have seen the Antony comps. I'm sure you guys have seen the Antony comps on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Like, the guy is an absolute baller. The guy isn't. It looks like an absolute baller. He hasn't got the most amazing stats, but stats are really misleading because he's actually got one of the highest chance creations, but lower assists than other people as well. Alice talks football. Manchester United will finish in the top 4 this season, hopefully, but I don't think we will. I think if we signed De Jong, we'd get in the top 4, but I don't think we will as well. Maybe Memphis could come. But I think if I was I'm talking of transfers, and then I want to get back into this thread. But I think if we were to sign another player on top of Dubravka and Antony, I think it would be Depay. I think if United had to sign one more player this transfer window, now we've got Dubravka and Antony, I do think it will be Depay. I don't care how much Antony costs, he will prove himself. Look, do I agree with the price? No, but that's our own fault waiting so long on Antony. What you get with Antony is a player Ten Hag wants, a player Ten Hag knows. Ten Hag, Antony thrived in Ten Hag's system for the last 2 years and thrived in Ten Hag's system against Champions League sides. Ten Hag knows more than me about football, and he is putting his faith in Antony and thinks Antony is the guy. He doesn't want the cheaper alternatives. He thinks Antony is the guy, and he knows Antony in and out. And if he thinks Antony can make it in the Premier League, I'm confident that he can. Back to the thread, though. He also said, H2 also spoke about his tendency to come inside on his left foot rather than having ability to take it to the line and cross with his right foot is a weakness. He's quite one-dimensional in that sense, but runners around him but with runners around him, it will make defenders' jobs much harder as well. He said that a weakness of Antony is he's a little bit one-footed, which you do get with a lot of players as well. Salah can be quite one-footed, I think, as well. H2 then followed up by saying Antony is a very creative player. However, like Sancho, he thrives with runners around him, not only to link up with them, but to drag markers and create space and effectively unlock blocks. Overlapping fullbacks was Ten Hag's way of getting runners around Antony. So if you take what he said here about Antony, he could potentially get the best out of Delo, work up with Delo quite well. I think, as I said Antony is quite similar to Sancho. I did say Antony and Rashford could work better as wing players than Antony and Sancho, because I think, with Ronaldo playing, I think Antony and Sancho will guarantee Ronaldo's service, but they're very much team players. Now, what I like about Manchester United signing Antony, and I've said this for a while, is that I think in the past we've signed individuals, and under Oli, this time a year ago we're celebrating signing Ronaldo, Varane, and Sancho, but it all fell apart under Oli. A year ago, Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho, such a sick team, Martial, Cavani, Rashford, all these players. But it was a side of individuals. We couldn't play as a team under Oli. We couldn't string 3 passes together last season because it was a team of individuals. Antony is a team player. Antony is a player that can play in a team and link up with players. And Ten Hag doesn't want 11 good individuals that can't play together, which is what we had under Oli. I wouldn't say all of them are good. Ten Hag wants a team that can play together and create things together. And you get that with players like Antony and Sancho. They are very, very, very good team players. Scrolling down as well into the thread as well. He also mentioned retention is something you might not think about when you mention Antony's profile, but his overall decision making and retention is excellent. He likes to facilitate the runners often, but also can spray the ball other side and exploit spaces. Not only, I will say this about Antony, from what I've watched of Antony, he's a very good dribbler and he's a very good passer, and I think he's got a footballing IQ. Like, I do really like Marcus Rashford, and I've said to you guys time and time again, you know, I do actually rate Marcus Rashford, and I still think there is a good player in Marcus Rashford. But what I think Marcus Rashford lacks is that IQ. I think Marcus Rashford lacks that kind of footballing IQ and decision making. And with Antony and with Sancho, you've got players that do have those IQs. Big up Daniel, who says, for all the best Manchester United news, transfer news, and live watch-along match reactions, please subscribe to Alice Talks Football as well. And PK says, very sad to see the way people are talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, what the media seems. I do agree that Cristiano Ronaldo has become a scapegoat of hate. I don't believe a word that the media say about Ronaldo. I don't believe Ronaldo's causing any issues in the dressing room. I think it's a media distraction because they need to mention Ronaldo's name to get clicks. However, I do think United maybe have moved past the need for Ronaldo. If he wants to leave, we let him go. But I do want Ronaldo to stay because I don't trust us to get a healthy alternative in as well. And we should get Depay to give cover to Ronaldo. Yeah, MARZIO just can't stay fit. It is so annoying as well. Looks like Johnny Van Der Beek is just about to get a phone call saying you're getting married and Frankie is your best man and Memphis has come as a guest. Is there any proof that Donny's actually getting married? Or because some people are saying he's getting married and some people are saying he's not getting married. And Rashford is getting his confidence back, which is brilliant. And I think that's what Ten Hag will be working to do as well. And Antony plays ahead of Rafinha for the Brazilian national team. You make a good point. Well, he's not played loads for Brazil, but Antony seems to be getting picked over Rafinha for the Brazilian national team. And guys, we've got some breaking news in about Antony from Mr. Fabrizio Romano. Antony has arrived at Carrington. He's undergoing the main part of the medical test as a new Manchester United player. Official statement to follow, but it looks like Antony to United is pretty much official. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe down below if you're new. We've got Antony, baby. And as I was going through the thread, he is Fred. I can't say Fred. I sound like I'm saying Fred is in the footballer when I'm saying Fred, but I'm talking about the Twitter thread. It's like I don't think I can say it right. But as I said, you know, Antony is a very good player, very good team player, and I'm confident he won't flop. You know, it's a lot of money on Antony, but Ten Hag knows this player. Ten Hag's watched Manasseh look great. You know, everyone said 5'9" Martinez, what are United doing? Martinez has been brilliant. Ten Hag knows Martinez. Ten Hag knows Antony. Antony was brilliant in the Champions League under Ten Hag, in Ten Hag's system. Antony was great in Ten Hag's system. You know, what I will say about Sancho is, you know, and I don't think the Eredivisie is much easier than the Bundesliga. I think the Bundesliga is a farmers' league, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but Sancho, the way Dortmund played was very different to how Solskjaer played. Sancho came to a new league, but a completely different style. A lot of the people that have flopped at United have come from a new league and a completely different style. This is the same style, it's just a different league. And what you get with Antony and Martinez is that they're coming to a new league, yes. They might need to adapt, yes. But the style of football we're going to play, they thrived in the other league. When you really look at this, it's not much of a difference for Antony. I see this as Ajax in the Champions League, Ajax in the Premier League, but obviously Champions League is knockout because Ajax are playing more difficult opponents, but the same style of football. So Antony is coming to basically another Ten Hag team. So if Antony thrived in Ten Hag's team in the Eredivisie, there are chances that Antony will thrive in Ten Hag's team in the Premier League. It will be harder, but if he can thrive in Ten Hag's system, that is the most important thing. You know, a lot of times, if a player switches clubs, but they're playing under the same manager they were great under, they don't seem to flop very often. And I don't think Antony will be a flop, as he was very good in the Champions League under Ten Hag as well. Osimhen news, very unlikely unless it's a loan with an obligation to buy. Very unlikely as well. But yeah, why would Donny get married in midweek between training sessions before a game? That's what I mean. I'm like, is Donny actually getting married? Is Donny actually getting married as well? And Ten Hag knows of Antony's capabilities exactly. Daniel's spot on there as well. Announce Herb. No idea what you're on about. Antony just turned up at Carrington and is about to undergo medical tests come from Romano. Yeah, lots. Look, I'm very happy with the Antony signing. I'm not going to talk about. I think everyone talks about the price. and all the attention's on the price, but you can't change the price. I'll say this one to you, you can't see the price. And, you know, everyone talked about Martinez's height. You can't change Martinez's height. You can't. But, you know, Martinez has shut up everyone in the last 2 games. So everyone will talk about Martinez's height, but if he continues to play the way he is, no one's going to be talking about his height next season if he becomes one of the best players this season. Everyone will talk about Antony's price, but if Antony is a great signing, no one will talk about his price. And the funny thing is Chelsea fans going, oh my God, you spent 100 million on Antony. You spent, just to be correct, 84 million pounds on Antony. You spent 102 million on fucking Lukaku, who's gone out on loan after a year. Man City spent 104 million on Grealish. Man City spent more on Grealish. Chelsea spent more on Lukaku. Nicolas Pepe was only 10 million less than Antony. You know, when all the rivals will laugh at the money we spent, Antony cost the same as Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez was from the Portuguese league. Antony was from the Eredivisie. It's, you know, Anthony Gordon's been quoted at 60 million to Chelsea. 84 million pounds on Antony. It is expensive. But if he plays well, everyone will shut up about the price, because everyone thought 80 million for Van Dijk was obsessive. And he played well, and he absolutely shut them up. Oh, we've got video footage of Antony at Carrington. Guys, do you want to see a video of Antony at Carrington? Should we get this up? We've got a video of Antony walking into Carrington here. Let me get this up on the screen. Someone's released a video of Antony walking into there he is. There he is. Antony is at Manchester United, guys. That is a legit video. We have Antony. We have Antony. Walking in there, waving at everyone. He is here, baby. He is here. So it's nice to know Antony's here. Look at the smile on his face. I mean, he's been desperate for this move. Antony is very happy, but there is Antony, and he looks very, very happy to be here. And he is. Wait a sec. My screen isn't sharing. Why is my screen not sharing? What the hell? Oh my God, my screen, is it sharing now? What the hell? So I'm literally talking about this video and the screen hasn't shared. Is it sharing now? Can you see this? You can. There we go. There we go. This is Antony. He is at Manchester United. Why was that? Oh, that's weird. He's never done that, to be fair. So look, you can see the smile on Antony's face there. He's here. He's at United, and he is very happy to be here. But people saying they can see it now, that's good. I do apologise. Look, I know the internet's crap, but I do apologise for that. But Antony is here. I don't know why my computer was just full on glitching, but it is what it is. But it's nice to see Antony with a big old smile on his face as well. Go on, Antony. Frenkie de Jong on the way to London. Frank, there's no way if Donny's not having a wedding and Xavi's let De Jong and Depay go on holiday, but no other Barcelona players, it rings suspicions to me. Now, I tell you this, if De Jong ends up at Chelsea, it's an outrage, and Richard Arnold and Mert should be sacked on the spot, and they should be embarrassed, and they shouldn't show their face at this club again. If De Jong ends up at Manchester United, which is not going to happen, oh my God, I think I will go mental. I think I will be partying. I think I'll be very happy. I think, like, my dream would be to just see De Jong at United. I think De Jong, Casemiro, Eriksen midfield three would just be beautiful. I even think Donny would work so well in that midfield three. I love Donny, but he does a lot of this one-touch stuff. Breaking story, guys, has just come out about the right-back situation. New Manchester United would have offered Sergio Dest, but Erik ten Hag preferred to take Thomas Meunier if the club move on from Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He identified Meunier as a reliable defender to add to his team. So I think if we do lose Wan-Bissaka, Ten Hag will want to sign Thomas Meunier, who was a player we think we were linked to in the past as well. De Jong and Depay only club now is United's office. United's office is in London. If De Jong and Depay get spotted at the United's office in London, that would be insane. But just to let you guys know, if you just joined the live stream, that is Antony on your screen. Antony is in Carrington right now. That is footage of Antony arriving as well. But the people talking about De Jong going to the United offices, I very much hope it, but I don't think he is. But no proof of the Van de Beek wedding. Antony, upside is if he stayed at Ajax and played well in the World Cup, he would have probably cost. Yeah, the thing is, I think, you know, he would have cost a lot if he was brilliant in the World Cup as well. You know, but De Jong did cost 70 million at the time, and Antony is an attacker, and there is inflation. I don't think. Look, 100 million for Antony is a massive overpayment, but it's 80. When you put it in pounds, it's 85 million. I will say this about Antony again. Antony, 85 million pounds. Jack Grealish, 100 million pounds. Lukaku, £100 million. Jack Grealish and Lukaku, including add-ons, were about £104 million. They were about 20 million more than Antony. Nicolas Pepe is 12 million less than Antony. Arsenal had a flop with Nicolas Pepe. They had a flop with Grealish. They had a flop with Lukaku. So I don't know why they're laughing at Antony's price. Antony cost the same as Nunes, and Nunes didn't come from a top 5 league. I think you've just got to look at it in that way as well. Will you make a live video when De Jong is in? If we get news coming in saying De Jong is in Manchester or Man United are backing for De Jong and it's likely to happen, if Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein start tweeting De Jong to United back on, it looks likely, I'd go crazy. The Ronaldinho regen Antony is on the screen. I'd love Osimhen. I think he's a brilliant striker. I'd love him at United, but unlikely to happen unless it's a loan swap deal, and I don't think Napoli will do that. But I think it would be a good deal, but we have to overpay for him as well. Martial fit. There's one thing I pray for this season. Actually two things. One, the Glazers fuck off, and two, Anthony Martial stays fit. They're the three things I pray for. De Jong, Anthony Martial staying fit, and the Glazers to fuck off, and Jim Ratcliffe to come in. They're the things I want to happen this season as well. Lucas Paqueta has gone to West Ham, hasn't he? So they played together for Brazil. And why is Frankie de Jong in England? Reportedly a wedding, but why the hell would Donny be having a wedding midweek between games when he's got training? It makes no sense. And why would Barcelona let him go on holiday all of a sudden? Isn't it a bit weird, I think, as well? But it's nice to see the video of Antony arriving at Carrington, isn't it? It is nice to see that video. Leaked footage of Antony arriving at Carrington. It's all over my timeline now. But Eric Ten Hag's got Lissandro. Eric Ten Hag's got Antony. And guys, if you just joined the stream, let's play the video one more time. This is Antony at Carrington. Here he goes. He's walking in. He's got a smile on his face. There he is. He's looking. He's waving. Antony is here. We've got Antony as well. I just like that he looks happy as well. If I was De Jong, I'd be on my way to Chelsea. I think it's going to be a really interesting end to I don't think it'll be an interesting end to De Jong's saga, but I think I just want the Chancellor winner to close so we have closure on De Jong, because I am so fed up of De Jong this, De Jong that, De Jong this, De Jong that. But I just love the window to close, so there's that little bit of closure on the Frankie de Jong situation as well. People said the Antony transfer could be made official today, but I think it will be official tomorrow once he's done the medical. But it is basically all done. United apparently interested in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, according to David Ornstein, but that depends on Ronaldo's future. But I think Aubameyang will end up at Chelsea. As I said earlier, it seems now we've got Antony and Dubravka in. We will not be making any more signings. However, I do think if we make another signing, it will be because Ronaldo leaves. And I think if Ronaldo leaves, I could see us maybe re-signing Memphis Depay. I could. De Jong in talks with City, is he? I mean, De Jong's been in talks with Liverpool. It wasn't true. De Jong's been in talks with this club. It apparently wasn't true. I think if De Jong's going to go to the Premier League, it will be United or Chelsea. But he is in England, and there will be a lot of rumours as well. It has just come out by Jason Butt at the Telegraph that Eric Ten Hag was also looking for another midfielder, but because of the price of Antony, it's unlikely. It's annoying. The one thing I don't like about the Antony price, the most is because of Antony's price, we're no longer getting a midfielder. I don't think we would have got a midfielder even if we signed Gakpo. I think they will use Antony's price as an excuse. I think that's what the board will do. We know what the board is like. But I do not like how, because of Antony's price, Ten Hag can no longer get the right back and midfielder in. Antony's only that price because you took so long to sign him. If you'd gone and signed Antony when Ten Hag said he wanted Antony in May, he would have cost probably about 40 million quid. I mean, look Ajax. Look how cheap Bayern Munich got them Ajax players for. Bayern Munich getting Ajax players for 10, 15, 20 million, and we're getting Ajax players. We've given them 160 odd million euros for. And look, I love Martinez and I love Antony, but Ajax have got over 160 million euros off us for Martinez and Antony, but Bayern Munich got 2 players off them for about 20 mil. So it's just, that's what happens, when you're a proper club like Bayern Munich and you get your business done early, you can get them done for half the price. If you're a silly club like United and wait to the end, that's what happens as well. I'd love to see Gakpo play up front if Ronaldo leaves. I think that would be interesting to see. Please say Ronaldo's staying. Napoli want Ronaldo, but I don't think they'll be able to get Ronaldo. No one seems to be interested in Ronaldo. I do think it's likely that Ronaldo will end up staying at United. Whether he wants to stay at United or not, you know, that is a question. But I think Ronaldo would like to stay at United. It said that the one issue is that basically no one's really in for United. United are now open to selling Ronaldo, but they've not actually received an offer. Breaking news from David Ornstein: Manchester United have received approaches for Wan-Bissaka from Crystal Palace and West Ham. Both be bust, as Man United don't plan on to sell or loan the 24-year-old. So basically, breaking news from David Ornstein is that we wanted. Look, this is a joke. Basically, United wanted to sell Wan-Bissaka all transfer window, but because it's taken so long for both clubs to go for Wan-Bissaka, United no longer can get a replacement for Wan-Bissaka, so we're going to keep Wan-Bissaka. David Ornstein said that Wan-Bissaka has had approaches from West Ham and Palace, but United do no longer plan to sell or loan the 24-year-old, as if he went, a replacement would be needed, and apparently it's too late to replace Wan-Bissaka. We've been looking at right backs all summer. I just think that's United incompetence, United laziness as well. Typical United incompetence. Just sell Wan-Bissaka for whatever. Exactly. I mean, what should we be called? Incompetence FC. I think if there's a name for Manchester United, they should be called Incompetence FC. But listen, guys, I am going to go and wrap up the live stream now. I do appreciate everyone for tuning into today's live stream. It's been a really, really good live stream, guys. Really, really good chat and all of that as well. So before I end the live stream, though, please do subscribe down below if you're new. I go live every single evening on the channel, keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, and more. I am 882 subscribers away from 50k. We've got over 1,000 people watching, 882 subscribers away from 50k. So please do subscribe to the channel. It's completely free to subscribe. We're very, very close to 50,000 subscribers. I really would appreciate it as well. I might do like exclusive membership videos or something when we hit 50k. I'm not quite sure what the plan is, but yeah, big up everybody who tunes into the channel. Smash the like button on the way out. Subscribe down below. Antony probably will be announced in the coming days, but it could be dependent on work, visa, and all of that. Big up everybody. See you next time. Bye.